Alright, so over here we have a typical Thursday reversal. Okay, we have reached into our objective, which is the fair value gap. This is the previous week's low. It's also the fair value gap high on the weekly time frame. Okay, and for NQ we have reached to the 0.5% of that weekly fair value gap as well. Right, so on Thursday we hit it right after the market opened at 6 p.m. and then it reversed higher. So ultimately I'm looking for NQ to take out these highs. So best case scenario, I would like to take a long on NQ because ES has already reached the high. It could be SMT, I'm not too sure, right? But I'm going to lean on to the bullish side. I'm not going to try to short the market. Further, if it let's just say if I take a long on ES, I'm going to look for this high. This is Monday's high, and that would be also the consequent encroachment of this range here. This is the new week opening gap. Right, so let's see what we get. So far we don't really have anything. On a 1 hour we have this inversion fair value gap, which price has utilized over here during the pre-New York session, and then right here as well. It didn't really came back down and test this inversion for NQ. Right here, this is like a small little gap here. Okay, so I am watching to see if price can return back into this level here for a long entry up into this high out here, right? And if I don't get that, then I mean probably I wouldn't have any trades for today. So looking at the 30 minutes, we do have the 30 minutes fair value gap right here as well, lining up nicely. Okay, so in a case whereby our price chooses to take out the previous day's high first on NQ, then I will have to look for retracements, like a retracement trade, since we are above the daily opening price, right? Just to keep in mind, we have a very nice displacement on 15 seconds, 30 seconds even. Stop hunt, displacement higher, but look at here, we have stop hunts as well, displacing higher as well. ES is making higher highs, but NQ is just unwilling to trade up here with ease. Okay, we are approaching the macros soon, so to me it's a little bit risky if I were to take a long here. I would rather price hit a higher time frame PRA before I even look for anything. Alright, so in this case, because I missed this level here, I'm not going to chase it, right? I'm just going to wait, because right here, as you can see, it's a 15 minutes fair value gap coupled with the inversion. So for example, if I were to use the 1 minute time frame, this right here could be a very nice entry into short-term highs, because NQ overall it's the more bearish asset. Yeah, so that's the issue with taking longs on NQ for now. Right, I'm just going to check things out right here. right? So 5 minutes fair value gap and then higher, taking out the previous day's high. No return into any sort of fair value gaps, but we do have a return into this last down close candle that took out this swing low here. Right here, about it's after this candle, right? Because this candle closed above this down close candle, so the very next candle we dropped into 50% of the 0 and 0.25 level right here, and then traded higher. So let's see if we can keep on pressing higher. I just don't really like how we have this inefficiency here that is also within the 25 level, and at the same time NQ it's the weaker asset. I'm not too comfortable in chasing price when they are in their last leg higher. I mean last movement into the higher time frame levels. Alright, we have a drop into that 1 minute fair value gap right here. 3 minutes, this one, it's a bullish order block. We dropped it in. 15 seconds, this is a fair value gap. Look at how ES is just trading slightly above the previous day's high and not expanding higher. It feels like it's waiting for NQ, and that's not something that I want to see, because ES is the more bullish asset, correct? So it should start to spool higher and higher as NQ spools higher, but so far ES is not doing that, which is quite concerning. Right, so after this candle and one more candle, we will be in the 1050 macro. Alright, let me just remove some levels here to be clear. This is the 1 hour inversion. You look at the equal lows and price is not touching it, okay? And then we have the weekly fair value gap high, this one, and then we have the previous day's high. I just want to keep it like this so that it's clean right over here. And this 0 level, it's also a new week opening gap because it's a volume imbalance, right? So just be mindful of that. It could want to return back up into this level here after tagging the previous day's high. Let's see. And if we start to trade below and close below this lows here, then we will be looking for this low right here. Okay, finally we have tagged the previous day's high for NQ. Let's see if there are any more relative equal highs. Right here we have some buy side liquidity for ES, yep, this one. And then we have, let me see the range here. Alright, we have a fair value gap on the 6 hours, and slightly above this highs would be the consequent encroachment. So I think I'm gonna use that level instead. In that case, I will have to use this one and then yeah, I just want the 50% level. Right. Okay, that should be fine. Let's take a look on the lower time frames. So if you take a look at the range for the week, I'm using the 1 hour time frame. This is the weekly open. Let me look for it. Right here and right here. Great. So this is the weekly open for ES, and this one is for NQ. Right, we traded higher and then we dropped, we accumulated, we dropped furthermore, Alright, so my apologies, something came up, but anyways, this is the weekly open for both assets, right? And we accumulated and then we dropped lower prior to Thursday. So right now price has shown that it wants to trade higher above this accumulation, which also means that we are probably going to expand higher on Friday, and this would be more like a accumulation, and then you have the manipulation, and then after that you are going to expect distribution. So that could be seen as well. Right, so right now this drop right here, I don't really trust it. I would still lean on to longs because we have not taken out the buy side liquidity. At the same time, there is also that 50% of the 6 hours fair value gap above the buy side liquidity. Okay, so we can drop all we want. What I need is a higher time frame PDOA, like for example the 30 minutes or 15 minutes or the 1 hour, to look for longs. So on a 1 hour here we have this fair value gap, 30 minutes we have this fair value gap, and on the 15 minutes we have this fair value gap. Alright, so I'm going to mark out this fair value gap first, and I'm going to watch and see if we can shift bullish right here to attack this high, okay, on the lower time frames. So let's see. Maybe on the 30 seconds, 15 minutes, 31, 15 seconds. 15 seconds would be better. We have more data. So right now I'm going to focus on NQ for now, right? And let's see what happens. Alright, so best case scenario, I want to buy below 11 a.m.'s opening price, which is right here. This is 11 a.m. Right, I am thinking in terms of power of 3 for the 15 minutes candle. Right, it can be utilized as the 30 minutes candle and of course the 1 hour candle as well. Okay, if we leave these gaps open and then we trade higher, after we trade into this 50% level, I'm going to look for shorts back into this fair value gap on the 50 minutes, right? So let's see what happens. The reason why I would be willing to look for shorts is if you take a look at, oh, did I not? Okay, never mind. Let me just rephrase. So anyways, right now, if you take a look at the 50 minutes, we have a small fair value gap right here, and then we have a bigger one right here. All right, this would be the larger draw on liquidity later on in the day. Right now, what I'm waiting for is I want to see if price wants to attack the buy side first or the sell side first. Sell side meaning inefficiencies and down here as well. So if you take a look at the 1 hour, we have this fair value gap, and if you take a look at 30 minutes, we have this fair value gap as well. And on the way up, there wasn't really much retracement, and we are going to take out an external liquidity. So to me, that would signify that price may want to retrace after taking out buy side liquidity, unless it's in a hurry, right? So right now I don't see it as in a hurry because we still have tomorrow, and we have already moved a lot since Asia, London, and the New York AM session. So I'm assuming if we attack the highs first, we are going to get a retracement at least into the 50 minutes fair value gap, because that level is also where the old new week opening gap is, which is at the level 0 right here. It is also a weekly fair value gap, so that is always going to be a constant draw on the price. However, if we attack the lows first, the inefficiencies like over here and over here, I would be looking for evidence to go long, which is what I would prefer. Okay, so thinking in terms of power of 3, if I were to go for longs, I would like to buy below 11 AM. Make sense? Okay, so that would be me utilizing the 15, 30, and 1 hour opening price for now. When we get into 11:15, then it would be utilizing only the 30 minutes and the 1 hour power of 3. If I were to really force the buyers, I don't really want to see price trade down here before attacking the buy side liquidity. This fair value gap on the 15 minutes should be more than enough to send the price higher. Okay, but I can't say for sure because we are getting choppy, and ES is not willing to move higher. As I'm comparing against the NQ's momentum, because ES is supposed to be the stronger asset. Right, so right here we are in, we have hit the 15 minutes fair value gap. So let's see if there's any evidence that price wants to go higher. These two down close candles would be the first candidate for a bullish order block. Right, we'll just have to watch and see. If I were to take this trade, I would only be risking about 0.5% because this is the last leg distribution higher, so I don't want to risk too much because it might just turn against me. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait, and I'm gonna wait for the closing price above this candle. Once I get that, I am going to put a limit order. Okay, right, I am only going to buy this order block. I won't do for anything higher, which means even if there is a fair value gap, I'm just going to keep my limit orders here. Sorry, this is 1% by the way, it's not 0.5. It can just run without me. I am totally fine with that. Okay, I'm not going to buy something that doesn't come to me. Because why would I be doing this? Because NQ is the weaker one, and I would anticipate retracements to be more aggressive. So I would rather be on the safer side. Anyways, if you didn't know, this height right here is actually a 5 minutes CB. So in an event whereby you have a conflicting idea, always lean on to the higher time frame, because if when there is a arm wrestling match between the higher time frames and the lower time frames, ICT has always mentioned that the higher time frames will win the arm wrestling match. Right, look how it is teasing this fair value gap here. Let me check the consequent encroachment. I'm just slightly above it. Alright, seems like it's gonna run without me. Unless it wants to pull some shenanigans. NQ should push higher now because ES has already traded up into that high. That old high right here. ES old high. Okay. So NQ should follow through without any retracements from now onwards. Because if it doesn't, that could be a possible SMT. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, I'm still using the 1 hour, the 11 a.m.'s opening price. So that could be the power of 3 for the 1 hour candle. Alright, so what am I waiting for would be price trading into this level first, and then we get a retracement. That is totally possible as well. Okay. At the same time, we are approaching lunchtime. So lunchtimes usually gives retracements. At this point in time, I am no longer interested in looking for longs because it should want to utilize whatever bullish PD rates there is to send the price higher right now instead of coming back down and taking out the lows. If it does that and then it will trade higher, that is a high resistance liquidity run, which I don't want to be part of. Right, so this order block here, this down close candle, it's a very important order block. Right, look at it go. As long as we don't get price trading into these levels here, I won't be interested in any shorts. Okay. Right, look at this candle here. It can trade lower for all it wants. I don't like it leaving like this, right? So I can do something else, which is to wait for price to trade into a 1 hour discount PRA and then higher prices. That is also possible. All right, so look at this reaction here. This is something that you don't really want to see if I was still in that position. Okay. Alright, so just look at the price action now. I was away from the keyboard just now. The old me would be shitting myself right now because I thought that, I would have thought that price would want to trade higher after it trades down this low, taking out the sell side, okay? But that's not how it works. Narrative is more important. Okay, so right now we have this equal highs. I would be looking to attack this equal highs later on. Not now, right? Right now, if price is going to trade below this 15 minutes fair value gap, we are going to attack this lows here. Okay. PM session usually likes to run out the liquidities created during the AM session. If you're looking at the 6 hours chart, we are actually forming a fair value gap on the 6 hours. So it would be perfectly normal if we trade down and take out the AM session's low at 12 o'clock. After 12 o'clock. Okay, so on the 5 minutes, we have completely closed below that. Have we? No, we have not yet. 2 more minutes for a 5 minutes candle closing below the 15 minutes fair value gap. And then from there, we should see some form of drop into this lows here. But it all depends on the 5 minutes candle, right? If the 5 minutes candle does not close below this 15 minutes fair value gap, then you can discard whatever I just said. So far we have traded into a 5 minutes BC, which is why you're seeing this reaction right here. If you just take a look at the 5 minutes, we are forming a bearish order block right here. This order block was the up close candle that sent the price above this rejection block, right? So we tagged the rejection block, and if you look at ES made a higher high at this candle right here. So this is a possible short-term SMT that can lead the run into this lows here, which is the AM session's low. And obviously if it wants to overextend, we can look for 930's low, which is right down here. Right, so it all depends on the 5 minutes close. Right here is the BC that I was talking about. Alright, we couldn't close below. We closed within. Alright, so right now eyes is on this fair value gap, which is above the 1 hour opening price. We have this rather large inefficiency up here. And when you see price climbing up like this is usually accumulation. Like, how would I put it? It's usually engineered liquidity, okay? Which eventually will be ran out. I don't like how price actions like this on the way up. I mean, if I was looking for reversals, obviously, but right now I'm not, and which means this would be good, because that means we're going to have another leg down to take out this low eventually. I like how price is respecting that new week opening gap, which is at the level 0. If I were to short NQ, obviously I wouldn't like NQ to reach up into this inefficiency here before sending the price lower. It should send the price lower at this area here. Okay. But then again, higher time frames always wins. So as of right now, we don't really have a 15 minutes closing below that 15 minutes fair value gap yet. Okay. So in like about 2 minutes, we would have the 15 minutes closing price, and that should easily determine the next course of action for the price in the next few 15 minutes candles. Alright, so we have the 50 minutes candles close. We're closing above the fair value gap. Okay. Look at it go. So right now this consecutive down close candles is the bullish order block, and this would be the breaker. Let's see if I want to take something here. What's the risk? 13. Oops. Okay. This is a 0.5 risk. It's like about 10 points. I don't like this at all. Fantastic. Seems like it is respecting that 5 minutes CB. I'll wait. I wouldn't reverse and go short right now. Let's take a look at this level here. It's still valid though, it's still valid. Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. I'll take this as a stop hunt. I will have to put it down here. How many points is this? 24. That's about 1%. Nah, I don't want to take it. I would rather give up on this opportunity. Yep, I don't like how it's closing below these two up close candles. If price can somehow close below this low, I would be interested in going shorts. This is if, okay. Closing below this low on a 1 minute candle, right? Right, let me remove the arrows. It might be distracting. So far the 5 minutes is still closing above. Is it? Let me double check. Yeah, it's still closing within 1 minute stop hunt right here. This order block. What's the risk? 20 points. Okay, we're gonna try this for the one last time. Let me draw out the over here, right here. 50% between 0 and 25, right? It's gonna run without me, I guess. It has tagged this other block right here. Yeah. I don't like how it's coming back down. Okay, I'm gonna remove it. I don't feel confident how it has tested this fair value gap for so many times. 1, 2, and then third candle right here. I don't like this, even though it's showing bullish order flow. I just have to be cautious. I'll just stick to playing it on the 1 hour, which means utilizing only 1 hour PD raise, right? I think that would be the safest. Not the safest, but the one with the less risk. Don't want to lose like 20 points over this 1 minute down close candle. We are entering into the macro as well in about 3 minutes. I mean, not 3, but 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Alright, so hypothetically, I would have been filled right now. Okay, and for this candle, it needs to displace higher aggressively. You don't want to see it close below this up close candle. We have 15 more seconds to go. I mean, just look at it. Just look at this. This reaction is not something that I want. And it's closing below. So this is not a good sign if I was to long at this order block here. I think it is trying to gravitate lower. I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's taking too long to reach into this objective here. The first time it was right down here, I suppose, and then it didn't fill my order, right? Or did it? I think it did not. Yeah. And then the second time it was right here. It stopped me out first, and then it ran up like above this high. And then this is the third opportunity right now. It's giving so many opportunities to run into this buy side, which I think it shouldn't be the case. Okay, so right now we have this drop lower. Let's see if we can attack the 1 hour fair value gap down below. If not, I'll be sitting on my hands. And if it ever runs up into the buy side liquidity first before the 1 hour fair value gap, then obviously this is a high resistance liquidity run. We have closed below this up close candle here. Okay, so for example, if I were to do this, what would it look like? 25%. Oops, what is this? here, 20 points as well. This is 4R. I'm going to switch to micro. Oops. I might have missed it. Okay. The reason why I'm going short, we have a lower highs on ES right up here. NQ made a higher high, and we have closed below this up close candle that made the higher high, right? Soft invalidation would be price closing above 0.5. That would be me cutting losses. What I want to see is acceleration below this low here in order to reach this level. In the next minute or so, we should enter the macro. I mean, we will be entering the macro. It's a definite. I would prefer it if the bodies can stay below the 25% level. I don't really want to see them closing above, right? This is one red flag right here. Yes, looks like it's gonna run this highs. don't like how it has traded below here, but refused to close below this swing low here. Okay. We have relative equal lows. So once this low is taken out, I will move my stops above this down close candle. Very small range candles. This current 50 minutes candle and the subsequent one should give a very nice expansion. Right, because if you take a look at the 50 minutes, we have an inside candle prior. So this very candle here and the next one should provide expansion candles. Very reluctant here. I'm just gonna mark out the weekly, what do you call it? The weekly inefficiency. And I'm gonna remove this one. I'm just gonna eyeball the 50 minutes, I mean the 50% level. So right now we are inching into the new week opening gap. I would like to see a closing price below it, and then price just treats it as resistance and then drops, and then drops. I missed the word there, I think. Grammar. Let's take a look at the 50 minutes family gap. Thought I pressed it. Ever since it has traded above, there has been no 1 minute candles closing below for now. The 50% level is around the order blocks open right here. I mean this volume imbalance right here. It's around there. We have 3 more minutes. So far, the 15 minutes candle has yet to... okay. I'm ready. I'm ready to close the position. What is this? Accumulation, right? We have tagged the 50%. It needs to move now. Okay. If it doesn't move now, I would be wrong on my analysis of it going lower. Okay, I'm going to put my stops at the rejection block here. This is the rejection block. Just in case it just, spikes up. Because it should move now. I don't really want to see it trade above this high here, this swing high. Alright, we have no signs of the 50 minutes closing below this fair value gap. Once we take out this lows, for example, I'm going to shift my stops. I'm going to aggressively shift my stops. In fact, I think I'm going to do it now with this high here. Yeah, thank you very much for taking me out. What's the damage here? 374, not too bad. So during this session here, I tried longs and I tried shorts. Both of them didn't work out. So right now, what's left is external liquidities. Based on the current dealing range, okay? just mark out levels here. Right, I mean, just look at the 15 minutes candle here. Right, and since this is a expansion to the upside candle, we should run for this buy side right now. We have respected this fair value gap, price has closed within, and the very next candle it has closed away from the fair value gap. This is a good indication. And then we have this sort of like a confirmation right here. Let's see. Things can change in a dime, so I'm not holding too much expectations for the buy side liquidity. How does it look like? Man, quite choppy today. But that is also because London has moved a lot. Right? Look at London. Expansion. So right now we have, if you take a look at the 6 hours, just in time, we have this 6 hours candles low and this 6 hours candles high. So what I am thinking is that if we breach the high first, we are going to retrace back into at least maybe the inversion fair value gap right here. Right, so this level is important as well. I'm gonna mark it. This is 19615. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. Oh, it's just right here. Alright, so this fair value gap right here should be enough to send the price higher. Right, and obviously unless it pulls something, pulls up something. Let's take a look at the 4 hours candle. Nothing much. Can it overstep into this inefficiency here? Totally possible. 5 minutes. Have we closed above? No, not yet. Just this one. 1 minute. What's the range of this candle right here? 50%. 50% level after this candle's close. Yeah. Yes, has already taken out the previous hour's high. Right here. And NQ is just hanging around. It should follow through. Just my opinion here. What's the risk? Two R. Okay. I'm gonna do this. And this would be the last attempt for the day. Five minutes, 3 minutes. Two minutes, 1 minute. I would really like to see speed. Would like to see it close above that, the swing high right here. Right, it wasn't able to do so, but at least we closed above this down close candle. I would like to see it respect this down close candle and then trade higher. This is the old rejection block right here. when it gets there, I don't want to see it hang around this level. I want to see it just blow through this level here. Yes, it's making its way to Monday's high, which is something that I want to see previously when NQ was trading above yesterday's high. Because ES is more bullish than NQ, so it should have no problems trading higher. Right, thank you very much. Don't you dare run against me. At this point in time, I really would like to see it close above the rejection block. Above 19680.75. I don't like how it has traded above and then closed back down like this. Let's take a look on the 15 minutes. 5 minutes. We do have this fair value gap and this inversion right here. Five minutes. I'm gonna shift a little bit lower right here, and then going in on the 1 minute. It has taken out the stops here. Why am I not surprised? I don't want to see it close below this fair value gap here. If it does, then it's probably going to stop me out. Okay. This 1 minute fair value gap. What's the 15 seconds doing? We have a return all the way down into the last down close candle that sent the price higher on the 15 seconds. So if we were to take out this low, I am assuming that we are going to run the stops down here. The 1 minute, it's not looking too good. Alright, it has closed below this fair value gap, so I am potentially going to be stopped out right now. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Alright, so this should in turn become a inversion. If everything is going according to plan and they want to run this lows down here. Right on the 5 minutes, we are tagging into this fair value gap, coupled with the inversion. On the 5 minutes, everything looks fine, just not on a 1 minute, right? Very tricky price action here. If this is going to be a false market structure shift, we are going to explode above this high. Alright, so people will want to get short in this fair value gap, and then they're going to blow them out of the water, if that's indeed the case. Let's take a look at the 5 minutes, which should give us more context. Right. So far we have respected the 15 minutes fair value gap. We have shifted higher, creating this fair value gap. With this inversion fair value gap, price has traded all the way down into this down close candle that has traded into the inversion fair value gap. And it's the largest down close candle within the accumulation right here. Everything points higher prices, so let's see. Let's look at the quadrants. I'm going to remove this one and I'm going to replace it with the quadrants. Where is the, yeah, right here. Okay, So this is 1, 75, 50%, and then we have the 25%. I do want to be ambitious a little bit. I'm gonna put it right here, because if this is a false market structure shift, it is really going to expand higher above these highs, right? It is really going to expand higher. What is this level here? Do I have any confluencing factors? Let's take a look at the 4 hours. And that would be near the 4 hours fair value gap right here. Right, as you can see. And inefficiency above these highs. Okay, it's looking like it's going to, right? I mean, if you're bearish, we don't really want to see up close candles closing above 50% of this fair value gap. Right here, it's closing above. So I'm gonna change the color into something more neutral. Oh, I can't see the levels here, but I think it's fine. We probably don't need the levels anymore. Let's see. We have a short-term swing low here. I think this should be respected, and this swing low as well. Fair value gaps here and here. Inversion. Oops. The 1 minute doesn't seem too reliable, huh? So on the 5 minutes, everything looks okay. We have tapped into the fair value gap and we have traded away from the fair value gap. So everything's looking fine. Right now, it's just a matter of time, unless it really wants this lows, okay? Right now, I'm just gonna let it do what it wants to do. Alright, we have returned into this fair value gap on the 1 minute. I might just manually close my position when it reaches up here, depending on the reaction, okay? But obviously, it can just come back down and stop me out and end all this conversation right now. We took out this low here. It's really trying to... Okay, this is this high resistance liquidity run here for sure. I mean, it has been predetermined down here. Or should I say down here? Right now, it should run because it has taken out a short-term low. If it continues to gravitate lower, then these lows are in danger again. Taking longs on the weaker asset is truly an eye-opener. Nasdaq, it's just not delivering peacefully. $30, nothing. Come on now, thank you. Are you going to give me like a 100 handle 1 minute candle? It has been stalling for 3 hours now. Close to 3 hours. 30 more minutes to the third hour. Alright. Stalling below this highs. This is the first hour, the second hour, and this is going to be the third hour. Okay. Alright, we're back to the rejection block again. big up close candles above this high, please. I would love to see that. This would be the third time trading into this rejection block. It's taking so long. I'm falling asleep. This right now should act as inversion because we have closed above it. This 1 minute fair value gap. I'm gonna highlight it orange, similar to ICT. Okay, I'm gonna shift my stops. At this point in time, if it ever comes back down and takes me out, I'm done with it. Okay, I will be done with it. I don't want to wait anymore. Let me rephrase. I won't want to stay in this position anymore, right? In terms of like, I mean, I'm referring back to the phrase whereby I don't want to wait anymore. Yeah. It's been so long. It's been here, and then price is here. How many minutes has that been? Close to 20 to 30 minutes, and then price is not moving to the direction that I want with ease, right? That's the keyword here, with ease. If I get any body closing below 50% of this inversion fair value gap, it's probably gonna run for my stops, okay? I'm placing my stops at the rejection block that ran out this low here. At the same time, it is below the inversion fair value gap as well, so I have a lot of PD arrays above me if it should invalidate and come and stop me out. I am so glad this is not my live account. I can assure you that the pressure will be different. I wouldn't be able to sit through for so long this type of trades. But anyways, I wouldn't be taking it on a low time frames either. I'm more conservative when it comes to live account. So I would only use the 15 minutes time frame for the live account. Come on now, NQ. We are going to enter the macro in 10 minutes. I wouldn't like to see it drag into the macro. Right, I would like it to at least be here when the macro starts, right? Because that would mean that we are probably going to spool up higher. But if it keeps just, if it stays here for the entire 10 minutes, 10 more minutes to go, then the macro is probably going to run out some stops before higher prices. That is what I think would happen. But let's see. It has been 2 hours now since the start of the video. I've lost count of how many times I've yawned during this position here. This is so slow. ES is really pushing for it, but NQ is just should have taken longs on ES instead of NQ. I thought too highly of NQ. Look at how the body is starting to close back in the inversion fair value gap. I don't like this. It's a red flag here. See, this is what I meant. And there you go. I will be stopped out very soon. If this current candle does not completely overlap these two down close candles, okay, if this candle does not overlap these two down close candles, I will be stopped out. Overlap meaning trading higher. Another stop hunt down here. So this should be the last one, I hope. What a waste of my time. Consecutive up close candles counts as one, right? So this is something good. I mean, this is good. This is good. I want to see this, and I want to see it overlap and trade higher and expand higher away from these two down close candles. Okay. Can we finally get big up close candles? I've been waiting for this the entire session, okay? Enough. It's enough. Give me the reward I deserve for waiting. Finally. Right now, where are we? Right, we are trading above this high. Yeah, we are. So I would like to see large range candles, big green candles. I'm gonna move my stops here. Big green candles away into the objectives. 2 minutes into the 2 minutes before the macro we are in right now. It's good that we have a fair value gap right now. I would like to see it lift left open, and it would be good if it is left open. If we trade down into that first, then I would probably have to take all of my positions off at 0.5. We are entering the macro very soon. I don't want to be what do you call it, like a hit and reverse kind of thing. I mean, look at the retracement here. Okay, if you want to stop me out, just do it, right? I'm sick of it. Just do it. Thanks. Alright, that's it for this session here. I hope you enjoyed this. Obviously I didn't really enjoy it. But anyways, just a short review. What I have gathered from this, from today, would be this trade. Let me just put on the where is it? Where is it? Settings, executions. All right, this trade right here, I should not have taken this trade because we are respecting the 50 minutes fair value gap. All right, this is my mistake right here. I shouldn't have done this. Okay, this right here, when I have anticipated it to be a high resistance liquidity run over here, this stop hunt here, I should have taken off everything at this rejection block, or even this retracement into this fair value gap, right? Capital preservation first. And the first one is on Nasdaq. The first trade of the day is right here. I should have zoomed out on the 1 minute rather than taking a position on the 15 seconds chart, because I thought that it was going to go higher, low resistance liquidity run higher. I thought it was going to present that, which is why I entered off the 15 seconds, but I should have zoomed out and entered off this down close candles, right? And why is that so? Because if you look closely, I'm gonna remove all this. All right, this is the 50 minutes fair value gap, right? This entire down close candle was the stop hunt, and it has traded into a 15 minutes, not 15 but 5 minutes fair value gap as well. So when this candle closed above this down close candle, I could have utilized the range as my entry and my stops right here, which means my entries would be here, or because Nasdaq is weaker, I could have placed it on the 50% level and look at the reaction on the 50%, and then probably take off all at the rejection block because it has respected the ones before. Okay, and it's the weaker asset, so I should have done this. That is something that I will improve on, and I need to improve on. And yeah, that's basically it for this session here. If you have gained any insights, do leave a like, and if not, thanks for watching. Good luck trading tomorrow if you are. I recommend not, because it's Friday, it's the last day of the month as well, so just be cautious, right? Signing out now.